Hello, beautiful people. My name is Harry, and welcome to some of the craziest reactions you've ever seen in a courtroom. Anyway, I've said too much now. Let's dive into this and let's go check it out.
We're in Paris, Kentucky, where 30-year-old Bass Webb has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. This surveillance video taken outside a Kentucky jail a week earlier captured the moment when Webb, a former inmate there who served 3 months on assault charges, accelerated his car and tried to run over 2 jail employees. One man was able to get out of the way, but one man was injured after Webb's vehicle pinned him against the wall. At his first court appearance before Judge Vanessa Dixon, Webb's bad behavior continued.
Can you word your side?
Yeah.
That be yes?
Yes.
Judge Dixon then informed Webb she's recusing herself from the trial because she knew the 2 jail employees he targeted with his vehicle.
Matters no one ever tried this case or have any further proceedings, or I have to see you for one further second. Except for the very next week.
Oh!
Watch again as Webb literally spit on the judge.
Oh! Oh, yuck!
Charging.
But this incident is far from the last time Bass Webb will spit in the face of the law.
I cannot believe that. Oh my gosh, he is going down for a long time. That is absolutely disgusting. I'm surprised that she was so calm at that. You know, she just wiped her face and said charging. I would be going ballistic if that happened to me. Honestly, that's incredible. I don't know, maybe the fact that she knew she was on camera, maybe that played a part why she had to be calm. I could never be calm if someone spat in my face like that. Oh, Lord. Wow. Wow.
While waiting to go to trial, he and 4 other inmates incited a riot inside the Fayette County Detention Center. After being shot with beanbag bullets and hit in the neck by a pepper ball, Webb whips a metal telephone box at a corrections officer.
Fine.
This guy is a nutter. I swear. I cannot wait to see how many years this guy gets. I tell you, man, that's just totally incredible. He could kill that guy easily with that telephone. I don't know. I don't think he could totally be like on your senses, you know, when you behave like this. But if he's on drugs, how did he get the drugs? Well, they do get drugs a lot in jail, so that would be a silly question to ask. I don't think he could be totally, you know, with your right senses and behave like this. He spat at the judge and then he's willed that, you know, telephone at a correctional officer. That could have easily killed this guy, man. Crazy. This guy's a nutter.
Were to launch this at someone 10 feet away, because this is capable of stopping that, does not mean that that is not readily capable of causing death or serious physical injury.
Webb was found guilty of 3rd-degree assault and sentenced to 15 years in prison. And for his attempt to run over the 2 jail employees, he was later found guilty of 2 counts of attempted murder and got an additional 37 years. Bass Webb was facing a total of 52 years behind bars, but more disturbing accusations were on the way. While incarcerated, he was charged with the unsolved murder of an ex-girlfriend. Facing a possible death sentence if convicted at trial, Webb pled guilty to the murder and got an additional 50 years. Now, 5 years later, Bass Webb is back in court yet again after being charged with the murder of a different girlfriend nearly a decade earlier. cold case came back to haunt him after a jailhouse tip led to the discovery of the woman's remains.
Where did they get this guy from? What kind of... I swear, I cannot believe that one single person is responsible for all this carnage. I swear, I don't know what to say about this guy. This guy is incredible. There's more. How many years has he got so far now? I think he's gotten 80 years so far, and this guy is not through yet. That is a very, very, very dangerous man. Should he be called a man?
This time, as he's let in, he reveals a new sinister look that shocks those in attendance. A closer look at Webb's recent head tattoos reveals a demented murder hit list. It reads, "Those that must die, all judges, all prosecutors, all cops, the media." Below that, 3 rats have been scratched out, and many more, plus an expletive on the other side. Gruesome details emerge about how Webb choked his then-girlfriend to death and buried her body in a shallow grave.
Mr. Webb, do you want to come forward?
When the judge asks Webb to come forward, he remains seated and smiles. Finally, after more than a week in the courtroom, the judge reads the jury's verdict.
You have found the defendant guilty of the offense of intentional murder.
Bass Webb is then sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Is it possible that after he passes on, they should take his body and resentence him? This is just totally incredible. That's one of the most incredible things I've seen in my life. I cannot believe that. I swear, this guy is something. That's incredible. And I wish they will dive into his, into the history of the man. Surely something must have, triggered all this, and there must have been a start to all this. You just don't wake up and become this guy who totally... look at what he did on his head. Look at all those tattoos. And also, people, I don't know, should the person who tattooed his head, should they be held responsible as well for something? Surely there must be some code and ethics about this. You cannot just go and tattoo anything on some... If I come into your shop and I say to you, tattoo on my head, I'm gonna do away with X amount of people. Surely there should be a code which, I don't know, which stops you from doing something like that. That's not freedom of expression or freedom of, I don't even know how to, I don't know, my head is going round in a spin with this now. Totally incredible stuff, man.
Communications, Warhurst.
Yeah, I want to report a crime that's about to happen.
What do you mean a crime that's about to happen?
Yeah, there's about to be a crime that's going to happen if my kids don't come back to me, you stupid because your stupid judges don't want to bring people to courtrooms. I got a gun pointed at your building.
Sir, what is going on?
Who the you calling, sir, you stupid? Where's your judge warrant at? You going to bring that out in handcuffs and I'm going to execute that son of a right in the street. I'm letting you know I'm going to shoot this. You gonna with my kids.
Where are you at, sir?
I just told you I'm outside of her building waiting for her to get there in the morning. I'm gonna pop a cap in that. You stupid.
Detectives identify the anonymous caller and track him down. Alan McCarty is arrested and charged with making death threats against a judge, whom he mistakenly believes took his children away in a child custody case. Now, a year later, in front of a different judge, his trial begins.
All right, back on the record, Mr. McCarty, President. He's under oath from the start of the trial.
No, I'm not. I'm not under oath.
All right, raise your right hand. Let's swear you in.
Another choir boy.
I'm not under oath.
That's your bad finger. I didn't appreciate that.
So you're going to threaten me like you did the other day?
Threaten you to participate here?
No, you threatened my life the other day. I am not under oath. This is being done unconstitutionally. Y'all took my kids unrightfully. You want to allow my witnesses here? You won't allow my paperwork. Y'all took all my court paperwork.
We haven't started the trial yet.
It doesn't matter. You still deny it. You want to take my kids from me and act like that? You and that. You and the my kids.
Holly, make sure you take down what I say. He was sworn in.
No, I was not sworn in.
Yes,
I've never been sworn in this court.
Can you just imagine what his wife must have been through? And I cannot imagine him being a dad. You know, I feel sorry for those kids, you know, because they must be like traumatized right now, those kids. It's just incredible to see that some people are like this. There's a real eye-opener for me, I tell you, man.
Bring the camera back. He's making this up.
So, that being said, number one, I need to know whether or not you want to be here during the trial process.
No.
All right. Do you want to testify, though?
No, I don't. This is all being done unconstitutionally, unrightfully.
Do you want to be in the room or not?
Do you want
I
Whoa.
prefer not to, sir.
Well, you got a mouth for it.
No, do you want to be here or not?
Oh my God. Oh, this is insane, man. It's the way he said it as well. And it's like it was the most real thing he was saying. You know, the deadpan look on his face, the way he delivered the line. This is just insane. I swear. How one man can be so nutty, I do not understand. Madness. And this judge is right. I really commend them because the way they stay calm, you know, the way they stay so composed in all the situations. I guess they must have seen so many things. I remember the judge that sentenced a guy. No, she was about to sentence. I'm not sure if she sentenced a guy already or she was about to sentence him. And this guy just lunged from where he was standing and he pounced on the judge. She was a lady as well. You can imagine that. And it was the quick intervention of the officers, the security officers in the courtroom who saved her. I mean, imagine that, right? Imagine if he had done that, right, and grabbed her by the neck. They go through a lot, you know, judges. We might not like them sometimes, you know, because if you go to a court, you know, and a judge finds you guilty, it could be of anything. It could be of like a driving charge or whatever, you know. You're probably like calling them names and saying you SOB, whatever. But those people, they really, really should be given like the biggest kudos of all. Amazing. Let's get more of this.
Or not to, sir.
Well, you got a mouth for it.
No, do you want to be here or not?
Oh, who the wants to sit here while you take their kids? This is a conflict of interest. Every right y'all supposedly have you violated. Can I get some water, please? Got a lot more cussing to do.
And then he says, "Can I get some water, please?" I cannot believe it. That's a crazy, man. A guy who is so rude, a guy who is so obnoxious, a guy who's so vile, you know, in his ways and attitude. And then he becomes this polite mommy's boy to ask for a drink. That is just a crazy, crazy, like, I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe calling him a psychopath will do him justice. You know, he's more than that.
Do you want to be here when the jury's here?
What the do you think?
I don't know. I need you to answer.
McCarty decides he'll stay for witness testimony,
Oh, because my other answers wasn't good enough.
but is ordered out after continuing with his outbursts. McCarty's eventually found guilty. He returns the following month for sentencing.
Everyone ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, State of Florida versus Alan McCarty Jr., who is present here today on two reasons. One is to sentence on a jury verdict that had been accepted, but we're also here on an order to show cause, which I would like to address first. First of all, if I haven't formally already, but you're before the court, Mr. McCarty, to show cause why I should not hold you in contempt for behavior that you demonstrated during the jury trial. You threatened the unborn child of the prosecutor.
What a bunch of lies, you stupid piece of
Then also,
You threatened my life.
in the back room.
They're gonna tape his mouth.
No, I'm not standing up. Resistance. I'm not resisting. I'm just not standing up. I'm not standing. I don't have to stand.
McCarty's removed again. This time he's placed in a back room with a one-way mirror.
Count one, I'm going to adjudicate him guilty, sentence him to 15 years in Florida State Prison. As to count two, I'm going to adjudicate him guilty, sentence him to 5 years in state prison to run consecutive to count one. So a total of 20 years.
McCarty's currently serving his sentence in a Florida state prison.
20 years, not bad.
We're now in Washtenaw County Trial Court in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Your Honor, my client and I have reviewed the pre-sentence report in this matter. We don't find any factual errors.
This is 17-year-old Danta Wright.
17.
Wright's in court today to receive his sentence for the shooting death of high school student Jordan Clee.
Oh, no.
He's pled guilty to armed robbery, conspiracy to commit armed robbery, a felony firearm violation, and second-degree murder. As part of the sentencing, a family member makes a victim impact statement on behalf of the victim's mother, who's too overcome with emotion to speak.
I sincerely hope that whatever it was you wanted so badly that you felt the need to murder my son was worth the next at least 52 years of your continued existence. You won't get the luxury of raising your child because you took mine away.
Wright's demeanor during this statement is not what you might expect.
Your actions have led you to a prison cell, but have also created an empty cell that I live in every day. While you can still hope to be released one day, I'll never escape my help. You are still alive, but Jordan has no future. Thank you, Your Honor. We're done.
Wright and his attorney approach the podium.
Your Honor, my client wants to address the court.
Oh, of course. Yes, sir. Mr. Wright, what would you like to say?
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon. I love my family.
That's all you got to say.
That opportunity could have been used to show remorse to the court for his actions. It wasn't.
You know, I have never in 20...
This is so sad to see, honestly, man. To start with, he's only 17 years old. Has his whole life ahead of him. And when you look at his action there, all he had to say was, R.I.P. Ken, I'll be home soon, I love my family. He's obviously deluded. And that tells me that this guy is not up, he's not all up there. He's probably like spaced out, you know, on some substances or whatever, you know. Now, what 17-year-old, I mean, what 17-year-old could have been exposed to so much to get him in a state like that? You would expect him to, like, you know, break down in front of the judge and start crying and begging for, like, you know, I don't know, you know, he's remorseful, begging for sympathy from the court. You know, it was a mistake, you know, I'm so sorry about this. The guy's all smiling and he thinks he'll be back home soon with his family. I don't know. All these guys, they should really be tested. I don't think they're all up there. They cannot be. It's impossible.
You know, I have never in 23 years approximately ever not accepted a sentence agreement between the parties because it's bargained for, sentenced by the parties. But watching you sit there, smile and laugh and shake your head like this was no big deal, I'm very tempted to just say, I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial. And if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there. That's what I'm tempted to do.
The judge does have the authority to reject the plea deal.
Mr. Bella, do you want me to accept this sentence agreement?
Your Honor, before I answer the court's question, I would like an opportunity to discuss it with the victim's family.
Okay.
If the court would pass it, I would appreciate it.
I'd be happy to do that. We'll pass this matter.
I think he was just acting a big boy, you know, because after that, you know, after that outburst by the judge, look at his face. It seemed like he had a reality check. He actually looked scared. So he was just playing up. Ridiculous, man. 17 years old, and there's a possibility that you could be going to jail for the rest of your life. I mean, this child has a mother and a father somewhere. I cannot imagine how those parents must feel. But then again, stop to think of how the parents of the child that he murdered, how they must feel as well. A tragedy in both ways. Tragedy, double tragedy. This is so sad.
It's now up to the prosecution to decide whether or not to dismiss the agreement and pursue a trial.
I have had a very lengthy discussion with the victim's mother as well as his grandparents and some family members. They understand that obviously this is the defendant who brutally murdered their son by shooting him in the back of the head. He's shown absolutely no remorse. However, the Glee family does want to move on with this. They want to get some closure from this case. And they want to try and forgive this defendant, even though all of his actions for what he did. And they are asking, as well as the people, that you proceed with the sentence.
Okay.
Wright has another opportunity to address the court, this time through his attorney.
Your Honor, my client asked me to apologize to the court. His smiling was in no way meant as disrespectful either to the family, to the victim, or to this court. My client is 17 years old. He has some emotional problems, and frankly was scared.
Exactly what I said. He was, two things there. They said he has some emotional problems. I believe that. I don't think he's all up there. And two, he was just acting a big boy. I think he was just trying to confront his fears. When he heard the judge, spit out all those words in anger, I think he had a reality check and he thought to himself, oh my gosh, this is not a joke. This is serious. I could be going down for the rest of my life. So sad. And I commend the family of the victim, forgiving him. I don't know. They probably felt he's a child and they know what it felt like to have lost a child. I don't know. I don't know how I'd react, if that was me. They shot the poor boy in the back of the head. Terrible stuff, man. Terrible.
He has some emotional problems, and frankly was scared. And some people display fear by smiling. He really meant no disrespect. He does take this very seriously, and I think he does feel bad about it.
The judge accepts the sentencing agreement, which puts him behind bars for 25 to 52 years.
25 to 52 years. With good behavior, he'd probably do like 25 to 30. But then again, I don't know, because you go to jail and you might even get worse in there, depending on what you face. They might just break you down and you just become, I don't know. But at least he's got some hope to look to the future. He's 17. If he does 30 years, he'll still be under 50 when he comes out. Unfortunately, the other family, they haven't got 25 years. Their son is gone forever. So sad. 17 years old. I cannot get over that. Too sad.
Next, we're in Bakersfield, California for the arraignment of Tobias Roman. The 27-year-old was charged with multiple crimes, including attempted robbery, threatening with attempt to terrorize, and exhibiting a deadly weapon for allegedly stalking a female employee at a shopping mall.
Roman, stand up.
I'm full of her, so I can't stand up right now. But I'm right here.
And now his initial hearing is off to a rocky start.
Stand up, Roman.
Once on his feet, the judge
I thought he said he couldn't stand up. His feet was hurt.
Mr. Roman, what is your true correct name?
Tobias, my first name. That's it. Giggles or Tobias. That's it. Don't call me nothing else.
Giggles may be his street name, but there's nothing funny about the crimes he's accused of committing.
This time I will appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Roman. The charges, Mr. Roman, are attempted robbery. Hey, Mr. Roman, you need to be quiet.
Yeah, you need to be quiet.
After being interrupted and then told to be quiet, Judge Charles Bremer gives the defendant a final warning.
You got one more chance and then you're going to be removed from the courtroom. That'll be your choice.
For a second, it appears Giggles might quiet down, but his silence is short-lived.
Giggles.
But as he's being led out of the courtroom, Roman gets in the last word.
See, I'm gonna murder you when I see you. See, I'm gonna murder you when I see you.
The judge heard that comment loud and clear.
I'd like to note for the record, Mr. Roman's statement on the record that he will murder me if he sees me, and I'm going to request law enforcement to take the appropriate action.
Tobias Roman later pled no contest to the charge of threatening a public official and was sentenced to 8 months in prison. Of his original charges, all were dismissed except for threatening with intent to terrorize. He pled no contest and was sentenced to 3 years in prison.
He's a lucky boy. That's all he gets. 3 years in prison for that. Well, not. He gets 8 months for threatening the judge, and then he gets 3 years for the other offense. I think he was lucky. You know, I don't know. I don't think that's quite enough. If you can threaten somebody to take their life when next you see them, I'm not sure 8 months is enough for that. You know, I think there should be like something longer to actually like prevent, you know, that happening. People just walking up to you and saying that. And if you can say that to a judge, especially in a courtroom, that should be even taken more seriously. That's what I think. I think he's a very, very lucky boy. Giggles. The irony to that is somebody who thinks is a hard man, you know, a criminal, right? Shouldn't be called Giggles. You know, that sounds like what a 10-year-old child will call him or herself, Giggles. You're a hard man and you call yourself Giggles. That's ironic. Wow. So there you have it, guys. Some really, really crazy moments there. You know, it just makes you realize how lucky you are if you are totally sane and you haven't got no one, you know, in your family or any of your friends, you know, encountering any of this like maniacs. This is just, I've seen some things today that's really blown my mind. And this is just part 1. I'm going to be like delving into part 2. So please make sure you subscribe so you can know when I release the second video. And also, I hope you enjoyed yourself enough and were entertained enough to come back again. My name is Harry. Thank you for watching. Till next time, I'll see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.